Hello everyone, Rebecca Meisel here with this week's energy update. I thought I would do a little bit of a video version this time to show you guys more of my face because I've had a lot of people request that. They're like, you need to put your face out more. I'm like, okay, so here we go. Here I am. Hello. So we're going to be starting this week's energy update. I do have my channeled notes that I'm going to be reading as we go along. And I'm really excited to kind of share with you this week's energy. I am sorry for missing last week. I took a week off for some holidays. So I'm now back, getting back into the groove of things. So thank you for your patience, but very excited to get back into the groove of things. So this week we have quite a few different themes. So this first theme that we have is coming back to yourself, reawakening your dreams, rediscovering your wants and desires, and really diving into this theme of relationships. So a lot of us have been feeling this past week a lot to do with our relationships coming to the forefront, and that includes our personal relationship with ourselves. So for a lot of us, we might have been noticing little things that have been coming forward to the surface in these areas of our lives. So things that we like, things that we don't like, things that we're perhaps discovering where we need more boundaries, where we need to be able to really discover our voice, and where we might actually be feeling a little suppressed in that, or where we ourselves are not feeling like we can be authentic in our relationships or be completely raw and real with who we are and how we have changed. Because I keep bringing up this message because it's so relevant for a lot of us, is we've changed. You know, so many of us have done huge inner work, huge inner healing. And the past few weeks especially, we've been getting this real pull to really step into our greatness, to really step up and step out and start showcasing who we are now. And there's going to be people who will not like that. There's going to be people who are going to be triggered by the new version of you, that are going to be upset when you start putting in what is healthy, what is actually healthy for you and your healthy boundaries, and how you are going to start responding perhaps to drama, to toxicity. So they're actually showing me this example of where we might have been under someone's thumb, right? We might have been under someone's thumb. We might have been the pushover. We might have been the people pleaser. And even if that's not the case for you, they're just bringing in this element of catering to others. And that can be very well the people we love, right? It might not necessarily be toxic dynamics per se. It could very well be even coming forward in healthy relationships and relationships in our lives. And we're starting to notice this shift. We're starting to notice this change that is currently happening. And so we need to embrace this change and look at it as a self-discovery. Notice it and observe it instead of reacting to it was really strong advice that was coming through. And so they're really kind of bringing up this point. How can we use this as an opportunity to dig deeper within ourselves, as an opportunity to really go in and go, okay, who am I now? What is it that I like now? What is it that I am looking for now in my relationships? And maybe just in general in your career, right? It could be any of these areas of life that you are feeling, and whatever that means for you, however that is coming up. But bringing an awareness of going, oh, right, this is happening for me. This isn't happening to me. I'm going to be able to maintain my empowerment through this challenging time or through this ride and really understand, how are these things happening on my behalf to show me what lessons I need to learn, what hidden depths are there to discover throughout this challenge or through this time, right? Because we're really shifting into this very momentous time where we have I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I believe it's 7 different planets in retrograde. And a lot of this energy that's going on, that's coming forward for us to really stop and review. And we're headed into Virgo here, Virgo season. And with Virgo coming through, very meticulous, very detail oriented, looking at all the facts, looking at every kitty corner. That's Virgo energy in a lot of ways. So how is that coming up for you? How are you getting new insights? And how are you taking on this energy when it comes to your relationships as well, where you're looking at everything, you're checking all the facts, you're looking at all the boxes, what's working for me, what's not, right? So we can see how this can be very helpful for us to really have this slow down, this evaluation of not only the people in our lives and how they are serving us, but also our own relationship with ourselves. Where are you being overly critical? Where are you being overly judgmental? Okay, because this can kind of go into the shadow aspects of Virgo as well, right? So some of the shadow aspects of Virgo is almost overdoing it, right? Like overanalyzing everything, over nitpicking, becoming a perfectionist. So we need to find this balance in these energies this week. And that's what's really being called for us to evaluate. So what I'm really hearing is that we need to really check in and go, okay, where am I maybe going too far into the spectrum of energy where I'm overly critical? And what was really cool was judgment was a huge theme, a huge theme this week. So really be mindful. And they're even bringing this awareness of like the previous week. Where have you been overly judgmental? Where are you judging people? Where are you expecting them to meet your standard? And is that an impossible standard? And then when we apply that to ourselves, are you being overcritical of yourself? Are you being overcritical of where you are in your life, where you are currently? They're even bringing in body image, where your body is currently, where your health is. Where are you like really going too far into it to your own detriment? So this week we have this challenge of being non-judgmental. So once again, how can we take on the observer? How can we once again stay in our power in a healthy way where we're no longer criticizing ourselves, we're no longer criticizing other people, and we're allowing things to unfold and be shown to us. So they're really bringing in this energy of don't fix this week. That is not your job. Do not try to fix anybody. Do not try to fix yourself, because you might really want to this week. You might be like, oh my God, I really need to fix this right now, or this is driving me crazy. So they're bringing in that. So it's like, bring that awareness. Okay, this is my little check-in to go, okay, I need to step back. Where do I need to surrender? Let others have their journey, have their experience. Okay, so once more, it is not our job. Even if you identify as a light worker, we are not here to fix anyone. We're not here to correct their journey. We are here to be that guide. We are here to be that support. We are here to lend and give love unconditionally. So they're like, really go into that. Where do I have conditions on love? Where do I still have stipulations on how I give love to others and how I give love to myself, right? That is such a huge and key thing to think about this week. Where am I conditional in my love? Okay, very powerful. Where do I need to start practicing non-judgment? Where do I need to stop myself from participating in the need to fix, the need to correct? And where can I allow more in my experience? So it's very vital this week that we really listen to that. We really listen to that inner voice, that when it starts coming up, and it's bothering us, we want to nitpick, we're getting upset, that is our indicator to go, oh, okay, This is where I need to surrender more. This is where I need to let go and really start seeing people, my relationships, even if they are not the best right now, through the eyes of love. Because that is overall the person I want to be. Overall, this is the person I'm trying to cultivate, is a person who does not judge, but loves. So we need to find that fine line, and there is a fine line, because we can also slip into the other extreme where we love so much that we become a pushover, that we become a people pleaser, that we negate our own needs. So this is where the beautiful aspects of Virgo come in to help us decipher that. Where are we in that balance? Have we crossed the line? Right? So really reel yourself in and go, okay, what is loving for me and what is loving for others? What is the most loving approach that I can take for all parties this week? So be very mindful. This also is a beautiful week for love in general. So what I'm really seeing is like date night. I am seeing romance. I am seeing love. I am seeing gratitude for the relationships we have. So for some of you, it might really end up being that kind of energy where it's like, oh, I'm not being challenged right now. Actually, I'm being awakened to the beauty of my relationship. I am actually being awakened to all the beautiful parts that these relationships bring, these beautiful qualities, these beautiful attributes that these relationships bring into my life. So we really need to celebrate the love that is there. And regardless of where you are in this situation, where you are in these energies and how they are coming forward for you, this week is such a beautiful week to show us love, where we might need more love, where we need to extend more love, where we need to be more grateful for the love we do have in our lives. And it's really this overall energy of acceptance and celebration of that. How often do we really allow ourselves to celebrate what we already have? This is such a huge message, because so many of us, we forget to do that. We forget to celebrate where we are. We forget to celebrate our relationships and the healthiness that is there. So if you are currently in a good relationship, you found beautiful friends, how can you really spend time this week appreciating them? How can you really spend time celebrating these connections and cultivating them and appreciating them and valuing them? So spend a lot of time moving into that energy this week. How can I lean into love? Love it so much. So I'm going to just go over these channeled messages here. So how is your relationship with yourself? Where do you need to drop into acceptance? Where people are in their journey, how can we drop into acceptance? I accept that this person might not be where I want them to be, or how I view them and how they need to be or should be, but how can I drop into non-judgment and let everyone have their journey? Okay, so where are you when it comes to your own relationship? Stop all judgment and criticism. Once you do so, you will see how your life will change, okay? Now, I love this because so many of us have been working really hard to cultivate that inner love, that shift that we want to make in our own lives, to really step into our authenticity. And what channeled next was breathe deep and take the plunge into your new life. So this is so beautiful because so many of us, we've been asking for a life of love. We've been asking for abundance. We've been asking for security, however that looks for you. That is loving for you to have those things. So whatever it is you've been manifesting, whatever it is you've been working towards in that energy of self-love, we need to take the plunge. So for some of us, that is going to feel really awkward. That's going to feel uncomfortable for us. That's not going to feel necessarily safe for us, is to ponder in goodness, is to delve into goodness, because so many of us believe that we have to be productive, we have to work for it, we have to do all these things before we get to have reward, before we get to be happy, have joy. And what's so beautiful about diving into this new life, it's like, oh, that was just a belief that it no longer serves. And so we're coming to this awareness of like, oh, I don't have to work and earn to receive love, to receive goodness in my life. And I can actually give it to myself for free right now. And so this is what's coming through for us this week. How often do you give yourself that love, that beauty, the goodness of your life? And we need to start practicing that by delving into the dream life that we have created for ourselves and making it happen right now, instead of waiting, instead of going, okay, well, I'll love myself in a few months. I'll love myself when I met this milestone. We're totally negating and releasing those old rules of life and making up our own rules for life this week. So lean into that. Now, what was really coming through is we have to be specific. A lot of us are working on our manifestations. A lot of us are trying to have this forward movement. And what keeps coming through here is we need to be specific. If there is a specific goal that you have, if there is a specific dream that you have you voiced this to the universe? Have you specifically asked for help? Okay, this is also huge. When we think relationships, this also means our relationship with the universe itself. So are you allowing the universe to co-create with you? Are you calling in your guides? And they're showing me specific guides here. So if we're working with compassion, Kuan Yin, if we're working with Christ and unconditional love, then call in Christ energy, Christ consciousness, whatever it is that you believe. Call in support, call in your angels who specifically will help work with you. The angels of manifestation really coming through here. So it's like, we want to help. We want to help line things up for you, but you have to give us permission. You have to allow us to participate in your life. And they do a lot behind the scenes. They do what they can without your permission, without the free will, but there's a lot that they can't. So we need to have that awareness every day. Am I stating to the universe that, no, don't help me? Because we could be doing that by accident, subconsciously. Or are we eager to be helped? Are we willing to receive help and guidance and just guidance in general from the universe? Are we allowing that? Are we allowing the universe to be our partner? So this week we might get illumination to where we are hesitant to ask for help, where we are resistant to have other people help us, or guides help us, or the universe co-create with us. So be mindful if that comes up for you. Now, we need to have that inner awareness that we cannot do everything by ourselves. We're not meant to. We are human beings. We are meant to have help. We are meant to have connections. We have those things in place for a reason. So I just heard, be aware of different people that are being sent into your life. Be aware of different individuals that you meet seemingly by accident. Be aware of these individuals walking into your life because they all are purposely placed. They're like, no coincidences. So allow yourself to lean into the wonderment of that and go, oh, okay, what if I did allow people to help me? What if things started flowing more seamlessly, the less I relied on this toxic belief that I have to be completely independent to succeed, that I need to be this version of myself to move forward. I need to work till I'm exhausted and without asking for help. So we're needing to adjust this attitude this week and be very mindful of where that creeps up for you. So specify and speak your desires. Make known your plans to the universe. Co-create and ask for help. Help comes from unlikely sources. Okay, now what was really cool is I was seeing a certain message for somebody here that some sort of side hobby or side gig is going to really take off this week. And it's going to be like a surprise where it's like, oh, I really did not expect that to take off at all. And so I'm hearing like a video going viral. I'm hearing like all of a sudden somebody who's like very well connected sees your work. I'm just really getting that come in here. So I had to share that little message for whoever that is. I'm excited for you. So next thing we have is money flow and management, making plans for the future, practicing the abundance mindset, and how to truly increase your manifestations. So this is really cool because we are really stepping into our greatness this week. We're also getting this awareness of where we need to course correct with our money, with our finances, and how we can start really building that foundation for our forward dreams. So they're showing us that we are really succeeding in that. A lot of us are very well built in that foundation, which is so beautiful. But we need to continue to make plans. We need to continue to line things up. And Virgo energy is so great for that, right? That meticulousness where it's like, okay, let's go through the details. So I'm really hearing this week, go through those details, but once again, don't allow yourself to get sucked into all the logic of it or the numbers of it. Really allow yourself to drop into the awareness of surrender and practicing that abundance mindset, because they're really bringing in here, this is our element of trust. Where can we fully drop into trust of our resiliency, of ourselves? So they're like, even if the numbers don't look good or things outwardly do not look good or the way you want them to, they're like, don't get sucked in by the negativity this week. Really allow yourself to drop into the trust of yourself, trust in the universe. And this is where we must really be specific with the universe. Help me with this, right? I give you full permission to help me move forward in these areas. Send me people to help me, connect me with the right individuals. Word it however you like, but allow yourself to trust so much that you know that regardless of what external circumstances look like, you are still going to succeed, and trust that intuitive nudge, okay? So a lot of you might be in this situation. So I'm hearing specifically this one situation where some of us are like, man, I might need to give up my dream. I might need to give up my dream. I might need to go get another job. I might need to go sacrifice. That just came in. I might need to sacrifice. And they're like, no. No. This is your test. Are you going to trust yourself so radically? Are you going to know and trust your intuition that is saying you will succeed? You just need to believe. You need to shift your mindset. So yes, we need to have grounded action. So they're like, do what you need to do, take steps, make a budget if that's what's needed, but do not sacrifice your goals. Do not sacrifice your purpose for the illusion, okay? Because they're like, really get that step back this week. If those of you who are stretched right now, you're feeling scared, there's that uneasiness, they're like, ground your energy, allow yourself to come back into your body and really work with what you do know to be true. So they're giving me this example where someone's had this dream for years and they're finally dedicating themselves to it. They're finally doing it. But it's like, oh my God, outwardly, it's not looking good. It's not there yet. Maybe funds are running out. Maybe things are happening. But they're like, how much can you believe? How much can you trust yourself? How can you trust that things are going to happen for you? So don't allow fear to sabotage yourself. Don't allow fear, the illusion of what we need to have and what we need to have it look like. Allow yourself to really surrender and lean in, because I'm really hearing big things are happening behind the scenes. And this is almost the slow down to really get ready, to get grounded, and to build that trust before things really start taking off. Okay, so trust. Keep doing what you're doing. I just kept hearing that. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't allow fear to get in the way of your greatness. Now, there's definitely things we can do to increase our abundance and to raise our vibration. So this week, what was really highlighted was exercise and health and wellness. So when we have a high frequency ourselves in our bodies, that really accelerates things. That allows us to start attracting that same higher vibration. So the purging that we are doing of things that don't serve, the more we let go of those things, the higher our vibration can raise. That's almost like this deep cleaning that starts happening. That's what they're showing me. So some of you might actually go on a bit of a cleanse this week. You might do a little bit of purging. You might do a little bit of detoxifying. And this is actually happening very strongly on an energetic level as well, as we release a lot of these beliefs based in judgment, based in shame, and really allowing ourselves to let go and surrender to the process. So allow yourself to do a little bit of a spring cleaning, perhaps in your health, perhaps in that area of exercise. That was really, really highlighted. Exercise. A lot of you, if you are feeling low, if you are feeling down, you need to move your body. It's going to really increase your vibration and help you surrender and feel more empowered in yourself. And that was the other thing too, is if you're getting afraid, if you're scaring yourself, we need to stop scaring ourselves. Okay, that does not help anyone. So how can we do that? Let's shift the energy. So they're really bringing in this energy of exercise, move your body, go for a walk, be in nature, lift weights, get out that frustration, get out of that fear state. It's so important that we stop lingering in that. And we consciously choose that a lot, where it's like, oh, I'm so scared. And we just stay there in that state of freeze. We need to get out of that state. We need to shift the vibration. And then that logical mind can start coming back in. So if you get triggered this week, go and move your body, make a shift, okay? Do what you can to change that energy. So exercise is going to really help. And then they were really bringing in high energy food, okay? Just did an amazing podcast with Awakened Now What. Check them out. We actually just talked all about this, so the timing is really perfect, of course. How you can raise the frequency of your food, how we can start changing our relationship and mindset around food. So please check that out. I think it's their most recent podcast that they just posted with me, so check it out. So utilize your angels of manifestation and allow yourself to take on this attitude that you are winning at life. Okay, I love this. So a few little subtle things, they're like enter draws. I don't know why. This week it was coming up as like enter draws, enter in raffles, like do little things where you're like, I'm going to win it, and like believe it. Take on that energy. I fully believe this is mine, right? And when we claim it, we really are putting out that energy of empowerment. I deserve goodness. I deserve to be rewarded. I deserve to have celebration, happiness, joy, spontaneity in my life. So how often are we participating in that? How often are we claiming that energy? I am always winning in my life. Okay, so really, really work with that that vibe. And it's so funny, I just heard hype girl. Be your own hype girl. Okay, so hype yourself up this week. Let yourself do that. And the more you take on this higher vibration, the more you take on the abundance mindset, the more those things start coming in. So laying the foundations, so we have love, laughter, play, rest, balance, and they're really bringing this energy of balance between the body, mind, and soul. So health was really highlighted this week. So once again, with that Virgo energy coming in, we might have that meticulousness where it's like, okay, how am I feeling? How is my mental health? How is my physical health? How is my energetic health? So once again, we might have that awareness and bring that balance in. So for those of you who struggle with anxiety or worry, they're like, be aware this week that you might try to start shifting into hypervigilance, where it's like, you become obsessed, where you're like, oh my God, this hurts, or this is weird, or this is off. They're like, let go. This is a really beautiful time for us to balance, okay? So where course correction is needed, have that awareness, but do not cross into that shadow where you start obsessing, you start worrying, and that only perpetuates more of that energy. So they're like, really allow yourself to drop into grounded action. So grounding really keeps coming up here. So really allow yourself to ground your energy this week. Really move into that. Go into nature whenever you get that hypervigilance coming in, and call yourself out on it. They're like, call yourself out. You know you have power. Your thoughts hold power. Your energies hold power. So remind yourself of that this week. Where am I directing my energy? And is it in the direction I want it to go? Okay, so really be mindful. Now, huge emphasis as well on what is overall healthy for me. So this transcends into every corner of life. What is no longer working? What is no longer serving my highest good? And what really came through was a breaking of soul contracts. Now, this is super interesting. So some of us might have had past life relationships, or just relationships in general that we've had, and we're in a negative cycle. We're not able to break it. There's just this repetitive pattern that keeps circling and circling. That's what they're showing me. So it's like, when we get in those patterns, it's really important that we start having the awareness, and that's what's coming in this week, is this awareness of, okay, I'm stopping this cycle. And we can do that by learning the lesson. And so they're really bringing in this awareness. What is the cycle that keeps perpetuating? Why is it here for me? Why did my soul sign up for this contract with this person? What is it that I'm meant to experience? What is it that I'm meant to learn from this connection? What is it that I still have to learn from this connection? So once again, we're taking this empowerment role, and we're shifting things dramatically this week, where it's like, okay, I'm going to break this cycle. I'm going to break this contract because it no longer serves me. And they're really saying, like, don't overthink this process. It's going to naturally dissolve when we get this awareness, when we get this alignment. So once again, they're really teaching us how to have radical acceptance. And they're like, things might look messy outwardly. Things might look like you both are going opposite directions, or you just can't meet in the middle. You just can't find that common ground. But they're like, don't let that discourage you. Allow yourself to stand on your own 2 feet, and notice this is almost a challenge for you to really trust yourself and work on your own journey. Because regardless of what is happening, our relationships are mirrors for us. They help teach us. Our relationships are our greatest teachers, and that's why we have them. That's why we have all these connections. They're here to show us something about ourselves, about our journey, and learn those lessons that are vital for us to learn while we're here. And we always have a choice. We have our free will. We can decide to learn them or not. It's totally our call. But what I am seeing is someone, it feels very specific. Someone might be breaking some contracts this week where it's like, okay, I'm done. I've learned the lessons. I'm good. And we're moving forward. We're making forward movement. We're making forward strides, where it's like, I love myself so much, and I accept myself so much, and I accept that this has been the journey, but I've learned what I've needed to learn. So it actually feels very empowering, and it really feels good. It feels like this is the step this person has needed to take. So take what resonates with this reading, my friends, because I'm getting quite a few messages for individuals here as well. So breaking soul contracts, releasing ties from the past by embracing the wholeness of you. So once again, they're just showing how important it is that we start really stepping into our personal authenticity, our wholeness as an individual, without editing, without shying away from that, without change. And the more we lean into our wholeness, into our health, into our high vibration of love, the more that things will repel, and the more that's what meant for you is going to come in. So I'm really hearing, keep focusing on your health, keep focusing on your healing, keep focusing on your overall wellness, body, mind, and soul. And the more you do, naturally those things that repel, they're just not meant for you. They're going to detox, they're going to go away. So no worrying this week. They're like, try to not worry, because that's going to really try to come up this week. They're like, what's meant for you will always be meant for you. Don't obsess, don't worry, don't put yourself in a state of fear this week. Do all you can to remain in your power, in your groundedness, in your authenticity, and trust the process. So ask daily, what is most healthy for me? Okay, what is most healthy for me in every avenue of your life? What is most healthy for me when it comes to what foods I ingest? What is most healthy for me in the form of movement? Okay, what is most healthy for me when I engage in relationships? Do these relationships encourage me to be more myself or discourage me? What is now feeling toxic, not good, and what needs to shift? And how can I keep making the inner shifts regardless of what other people do on their journey? And how can I step into what is most healthy of a mindset, of a body, all of those things? What is the most healthy version of myself, and what does that look like? So really going into that, it's really amazing what this one question can really do for us this week. So practice making decisions from your most healed version of self. Okay, so they're bringing in this energy of trauma bonding. So this is something that's come up a lot more recently, I've noticed, where people will bond over shared trauma, or they magnify shared trauma. And so what's really coming up this week is to be mindful of that. Where is my partner or my friend or family member awakening this trauma in me? And where am I acting from that wound? Where am I acting from a wound of perhaps inadequacy, right? Because we had a huge theme of judgment and self-criticism. So where is that wound being highlighted this week? Where is that showing up in my relationships? We're going to just use that as an example. But how can we start making decisions and reactions from a space of the most healed self, the version of self that we really want to be? So what I'm really hearing is allow yourself to drop into that. Who is that for you? What does that look like for you? And really start getting good at practicing non-judgment and becoming that observer of what's happening. So make decisions from that space. Practice leaning into what you truly want without second guessing and sacrificing. So this is another thing too. So once again, it circles back a little bit to what we were talking about earlier, when it's like really allowing ourselves to claim what we want and the life we want now without sacrifice. So they're even going with simple decisions. Where are you weighing the pros and cons? Where are you constantly allowing the ego to run away with you and second guess your gut instinct? Where are you looking to others to make decisions for you? Where are you, once again, leaning too far into hypervigilance with fear of making a mistake? Where do we need to drop into trust? Trusting our gut, trusting ourselves so radically, and making decisions from that space of intuition rather than just here. Okay, so build self-trust by keeping small promises to yourself each day and by making aligned decisions that come from the intuitive power space. So they're really highlighting the solar plexus here this week. So much about really claiming our power and claiming what we want. And in turn, that's telling the universe, hey, we're ready to take what we want. We're ready to commit, right? This is going to shift that energy. So build self-trust by keeping small promises. I love this so much. This is such a key way to build self-trust and to build self-love, is keeping those promises. So if you want to start really building that relationship with yourself and trusting yourself, what is one small promise that you can make this week and follow through with every single day? That is showing up for yourself. That is teaching yourself. That is showing your inner child through this reparenting that I'm going to show up for you. I am absolutely going to keep my word to you. I'm going to keep you safe. I'm going to do what's good for us. Right? So what they suggested was make a list of new priorities and goals. How can I love myself? And how can I allow myself to list actions and make decisions and prioritize these new goals and priorities? So really move into that this week. What new goals do I have? What pursuits, what aspirations are coming in for me to explore? So this is where the excitement really starts generating and where this detail-orientedness can really come into our favor. So getting like those small details done was really coming forward. And then moving forward in inspired action. So what are you now inspired to do? So this is really highlighted, inspired, okay? Not forcing ourselves to do because we think we should or we think we'll be happy when we do it. What are we actually inspired to do, okay? So no forcing, guided, inspired actions. If you're confused, pray, okay? Pray, ask for guidance. You don't have to do all this yourself. Let your guide show you. Let me show you the way. That's what I just keep hearing. Let me show you the way. Let me start putting these little messages in. Let me start showing you the signs. This is the direction we want you to go. So what outward signs have you been receiving from Spirit, from the guides? Oh, Spirit specifically here. Spirit, have you been receiving? Okay, they're like showing me little sprinkles of like fairy dust, almost like pixie dust. Like, this is the way, just follow the sprinkles of beautiful glittering light. It's pretty cute. So ask for guidance and direction. Trust information that is rising from your power center, your gut, okay? Where am I not trusting my gut or my soul's intuition? My soul's intuition. Course correct. Okay. Now, what's so beautiful, speaking of Spirit, we have a huge theme of that this week. Connecting with Spirit. So the number 4141. Okay, that might be an angel number for some of you. So connect to Spirit. Increase connection. The veil is thin. You can connect. You can always connect. Lean into your source. The divine gift awakens, remembering your hidden power. Speak and listen. Ask and it shall be given. You are never alone. Awaken to truth. So I love this beautiful channeled message because it really highlights something I am so passionate about, which is everyone can connect. Okay, you do not have to necessarily call yourself a medium. You don't necessarily have to look the same as others do. You don't have to receive the way others do. But every single person has a right to connect to Spirit, to the universe, to your guides. All of you have that gift. It's not a gift bestowed just on a chosen few. Anyone can do this. So this week, I feel like that's very magnified. Allow yourself to drop into your inward gifts. Allow yourself to embrace them and go, oh, what if this is just a belief I have? What if this is something someone told me that's not possible, but actually is? Like, lean into that truth. What is that to you? What is connection for you? What does that look like to you? Because Spirit is always trying to connect with you in numerous ways. So be very mindful of the signs, okay? Really hearing for certain individuals, it's time for you to expand your mediumship. It's time for you to lean into that gift. Stop fearing it. The time is now. So risk it. Allow yourself to take a chance and to move forward. Okay, really hearing this. So awaken to the truth. You can connect. So last theme is shedding old skins, a highlight on communication. Okay, so this is really, really cool. So this week we might have the old revisit us. We might have things come forward to release, and we have to stop fearing that. We have to allow this cycle to happen. There's always good. There's always that balance of light and darkness, and that's just part of the human experience. So they're like, never will there be a human existence where everything is perfect. We're here to have challenges. We're here to grow. So the more we can accept that, the happier we'll be. The more we can start taking the good along with maybe the bad, the perceived bad, the better off we'll be. So I'm really hearing, allow this revisitation to happen. Don't fight it, and don't mask it. Don't mask how you feel this week, because I'm really hearing these emotions are very vital. They need to come up. They need to release. So revisiting old to release and shed. Be clear and concise about what you want now and allow for growth. So this is where our voice is going to be really strong this week. We need to allow ourselves to speak and honor and say what we need to say. So honor your voice this week. So I'm really seeing journaling be highlighted, getting out our anger, getting out our frustrations, getting out any of those old wounds and properly processing them. And that's why they're highlighting journaling and writing, because they're like, even do a voice note on your phone if writing's not your thing. But I'm really hearing voice. Okay, you need to express yourself in some fashion to really get out how you feel and to really properly process it. Okay, that's what they're really bringing in. So be clear and concise about what you want now. This is beautiful. So once we've moved past a lot of the emotion that needs to come through, we need to get that clarity. So journal about that. Who am I now? Have my desires shifted? Have they changed? Give yourself freedom to explore that, even if it's hard to admit to yourself, maybe I'm not the old version of me anymore. Okay, but play in that. Allow yourself to release the seriousness and play into that possibility. Okay, so release victimhood. Let things flow. Observe, don't react. How is this showing you what you really want? Okay, so having boundaries this week is going to be important. They're saying have boundaries with hurt. Okay, don't mask it, feel it, then release it. Don't pick at a wound. Find ways to heal, to let it go, and let your past be the past. So this is such a powerful message. So many times we've gone through trauma. We don't like to, number one, revisit it, but sometimes when we do revisit it, we just pick it and pick it and pick it. And they're showing me like a scab that we keep opening up and we never let fully heal. And then it just leaves that scar and it stays with you forever, right? And so they're really saying, how can we let go of this need to pick? Right? We're going to want to do that this week. We're going to want to pick. And they're like, don't pick. Let it be. Let it heal. Just like when we leave a scab alone, we trust the body is going to heal itself. That scab's not going to be there forever. It will only be there forever if you keep ripping it off, so a new one needs to form. So it's like, really allow yourself to let go this week. And if you feel old hurts revisit, feel them, but don't pick at them. Don't keep going back and recycling the hurt. Have boundaries. Have a boundary with yourself and go, no, I'm not going to go back there. That's not healthy for me. Okay, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let this heal. That is the most loving thing I can possibly do for myself, is to let it go and let things heal. So really allow yourself to let go of the past, because that's not you anymore. That's not happening anymore. You are creating a new reality for yourself. You are creating a new life for yourself. And we need to lean in. Lean into your new life. Lean into a life of love, my friends. And you will be amazed at what starts shifting for you starting right now. So my friends, that's all I have for us this week. I really, really hope that this reading resonates for you. And if it does, please let me know down below. If you'd like a personal reading, if you'd like to work with me personally, just DM me, send me a message. I'll leave all my information on how you can connect with me below. Have a beautiful and blessed week, my friends. Bye.